Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to Manapot Studios. I am your GM for the evening, Karen Rossmore. My pronouns are he, him, and you are joining us for another exciting episode of Spaceflix and Kill. This evening, I am joined by these lovely people who will be doing their introductions, starting off with Krifu.
Hello, everyone. Yes, it is I, Krifu Brunel, pronouns he, him, and I am not in the Game Master seat this evening. Very excited about that. Today I'm playing a Verthani augmented soldier named Nikon, who is, like I said, augmented. He's got a big old metal arm, and he likes to get in close and personal in combat. But he's also quite savvy, quite tech savvy.
And Vinny?
Hi everyone, I'm Vinny. My pronouns are she, her, and tonight I will be playing an android operative, a bounty hunter, named Z, whose pronouns are they, them. And Z is an android that was programmed as an assassin, but has had a little bit of a change of heart.
And RJ?
I'm RJ, pronouns he, they, and I'm playing Dr. Callum Prey, who is also an android, and actually kind of the opposite of Z, because they're a medical droid who's spent a load of time sort of working on an outpost, doing a medical outreach program. They're now going private, setting up their own business. They haven't had a change of heart in terms of being a good, not killy android yet, but we'll see.
And finally, Hedgehog.
Hello, I'm Hedgehog, he, him, and today I'm playing Lucien, she, her. That's going to get some taking used to. A half-elf mystic / dream prophet who likes spending her time dreaming of the future, sometimes getting it right and sometimes being horrifically wrong. But actions don't have consequences, surely.
I mean...
Surely.
Maybe, maybe not. So yes, we are going to be playing the Starfinder Society scenario, The Commencement. One of the first released when Starfinder was first launched a few years ago, so this is going back a fair while in terms of the overall arcing narrative, but it's new to most of the people here, I would hope, so is everybody sitting comfortably?
As comfortable as one can be.
Yes.
You start as you're approaching the Law Spire Complex. The Law Spire Complex is the home of the Starfinder Society. You are newly recruited Starfinders. You're part of the recruitment drive that the Starfinder Society has had to push in the last few months after a majority of their current members have gone off to investigate the scoured stars. And this led to an incident where they've all been effectively lost. There is no communication, there is no traveling, there is no idea what is going on in the scoured stars systems, and the Starfinder Society has been reeling from this and has been trying to rapidly recruit new members to the society to fill the ranks to basically survive. You have passed all the entrance exams. You have managed to get by, and you are now fully accredited Starfinder Society members. The last thing that you have to do is report to guidance for your first duties. Guidance is an accumulated personality. Guidance is a computer system where many venerated members of the Starfinder Society, as they're coming to the end of either their life or their time with the Starfinder Society, are uploaded into this personality matrix and serve as sort of like a central judgment system using the wisdom and the viewpoint of many Starfinder Society members to come to decisions as to what is best for the Starfinder Society going forward. As the doors of the Law Spire complex slide open, a green holographic image of a middle-aged human woman shimmers into view at the center of the room. "Greetings," it says. "I am Guidance. Please use the cheek swabs in the open receptacles to provide a genetic sample for Starfinder Society identification purposes. If desired, you may place your hand on the glowing panel to receive a subdermal implant, further marking you as a member of the Society."
Just immediately, Callum just look over to Z like, "I didn't bring any DNA. Are we supposed to bring DNA?
I'm not sure.
Maybe we should go out and find some DNA to bring for the sample."
Yes.
I did not prepare for this.
Does it have to be our own DNA?
I don't know.
I
imagine.
I don't think just
Potentially.
any DNA will do.
Androids do actually have a biological element to them.
Ah.
So we have
more you
DNA.
know.
Okay.
Oh, that's fine then.
It's
good.
not
It's a lot
much.
easier to
You're not full machine. There's biological elements that it gets a little bit wibbly, but yes, there is biology in you, although I'm not sure exactly how much. At least you're not SROs that are completely mechanical.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Depends on how
But
I got some DNA after all.
yes, so is anybody objecting to getting a bio sample?
I'll give the
No.
bio sample, but I'm a little uncertain about the implants.
No way. Nikon's like, free augmentation? Yeah, damn, you better damn well. Yeah, I'm getting that. And he just immediately he takes. So he's got one of his arms is like chrome essentially. So he takes his flesh arm and like slams it down on the pedestal, just like trying to get as augmented as possible. And he like turns around to the back of the group and he says, "Yeah, my dad always said, you know, chrome ain't free, but I'll certainly take it if they're offering it."
And you have received the society subdermal graft. You should be shown a graphic for that, or a note
Mhm.
in roll 20.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, it closed.
So yeah, he like presses his, he just like presses the palm, and then the Starfinder Society's symbol glows underneath his sort of grayish khaki skin tone palm. He also has big mouse eyes, big black like bulbous mouse eyes, marking him, and like very gangly marking, which is what the Verthani look like.
Okay, so Callum's probably going to see that, and he's going to be like, "Well, I suppose that seems fine." And he's going to, so I should say, he's a Vlaka android, so he's an android, but designed to work with Vlaka Society, so he has like dog ears and tail and stuff like that. So he's going to just like think up for a bit, and then he's going to put his ear against the thing and just have it put in his ear instead for his hand.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't see why Lucian would object to any of this. Just simple swabbing, basically dermal. That's no problem at all.
And Z?
I think maybe if Z sees everyone else getting one and not having any negative effects, I think Z will get one as well.
Peer pressure.
I was about to say, it's just the peer pressure we got to you there.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't want it? We can always remove it and sell it for scrap.
This is true.
That is a point. I can remove stuff like that fairly easily, I think. So if you want it taken out, then for a small fee.
I got a guy. He'll buy anything.
It is our pleasure to welcome you to the Starfinder Society. Today is the commencement of your new role as Starfinder's field agent. It is our tradition at the end of the graduation ceremony for new graduates to present themselves to the heads of our most predominant factions. and complete tasks on those leaders' behest. This allows the leaders of these groups to become familiar with new Starfinder agents, and it provides a constant supply of agents for handling situations in our holdings on Absalon Station. While these tasks were formerly symbolic, the heavy loss of Starfinder agents in the Scoured Stars necessitate that these missions become something more. Please treat any task given with the gravity you would grant any other Starfinder assignment.
So it's an assessed mission. Fair enough.
It's a meet and greet and assessment. It's basically going around and saying, "Hi, I'm here," to all of the different faction leaders. Or most of the faction leaders.
Work.
Quite. Yes. Well, I
Seems
suppose
fair
I
enough.
do something.
Yeah. So
I suppose, where are we supposed to go?
yeah.
Thing. Yes.
We would recommend that you start with Zigvigix, the leader of the Exo Guardians.
Come again?
Zivavivivivix.
Zigvigix.
Zitgivgix.
I wonder what kind of creature he is, or she, or they.
Zigvigix. Aha, okay.
I couldn't begin to tell you, but I suppose the longer we stay here, the less likely we are to find out.
Sounds
Well,
about right.
Would anyone from their backstory recognise that name just off the bat? Are they famous?
Is anybody likely to have allied themselves with the Xeno Guardians? Each of the factions have a particular purpose within mind. The data files are about the acquisition and accumulation of knowledge. The acquisitives are more interested in exploration and acquisitions of material nature. The Wayfinders, again, exploration, but that of meeting new life. The Exo Guardians are more about the defensive and the combat/militia arm of the Starfinder Society. So does anybody have a particularly martial background?
Nikon definitely does. He's well trained as a soldier, and specifically the feats that I took are all about working as in a unit.
Then yeah, you might have done your research and found out a little bit about the Exo Guardians. Would you like to make a culture roll on that?
No.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Anybody else?
Dr. Callan's more humanitarian than military, so nothing more than he might have in passing met them through some kind of training for dealing
Give me a
with
culture
wounds,
roll.
but-
Let's see how much you were paying attention in general.
If you have it. If it's not on the skill list, it means you're not trained in it and you can't use it.
Do you have to be trained in culture?
Oh, I do.
Mhm.
I have some culture. I have +7 in culture.
Oh.
I'm wearing a tie and everything. One, two,
The height of culture.
I mean, if that's what it is to be cultured, then I am so uncultured.
26.
26.
Knew that necktie would pay off.
Yes, Zigvigix is the Shiran, the host Shiran, leader of the Exo Guardians. They're one of the older members of the Starfinder Society. They were supposed to be going out on the Scoured Stars expedition, but unfortunately a injury prevented them from joining the rest of the Starfinders in the expedition to the Scoured Stars. The Exo Guardians themselves do not have a currently permanent location here on Absalom Station. There's rumors that they're looking for somewhere, but that's just rumor as far as you're aware.
Don't forget, we got a posture check in chat.
Yes.
Check your posture.
It's checked. It is terrible. Thank you.
Yeah, so Dr. Callan's probably going to relay that to the rest of the group. Just be like, I recognise that name, Sigvijix. That's Exo Guardian Shirin leader, I believe. He was supposed to be out on a mission, but he didn't go. So I suppose he's taking head while they're all away. I'm just going to start sort of scoping around the room to see if you can spot him.
You're given directions to Zigvigic's current location, which is actually in the neighborhood of Downlow.
Uh-huh.
The Downlow is a area of Absalom Station. It's above the spire, but below the main hub. It's poor, but it can have a few trendy spots in there, you know, for people not wanting to be part of the high life, as it were. But yeah, you're given directions to Zigvigic's current location.
Oh.
Shall we
Yes,
go and
fine.
meet them?
Do we have to go down there? I'd rather stay up here.
Down.
I was
down
always, yeah, I was always told that area was like not a particularly nice place to go to. No matter how good they tell you some of the coffee shops might be.
Don't know. Can't be that bad. I've been on Absalom quite a while now, and I've never seen anything bad happen there. I'm sure you'll be fine.
Let's hope so.
And anyway, I'm sure as members of the Starfinder Society, we'll be dealing with much more difficult situations than a somewhat dodgy area with nice coffee shops.
I suppose. Eh,
If you come, I'll buy you a coffee.
well, when you put it that way, fine. Let's go.
Hey. So, yeah, I guess.
You go down to the down low, and garbage litters the ground around the district's largest art park, a cement lot filled with undulating metal sculptures and covered in graffiti of of over-exaggerated, adorable creatures. The sound of music and chatter drift over from the nearby clubs, chronically interrupted by the roar of local gangsters' engines. A heavily augmented host Shirin is sitting on one of the park benches,
Hell yeah.
eating a simple meal of cold grub noodles and rice candy. Their antennae pick up the tremor of approaching footsteps. Welcome, new Starfinders, and congratulations. The Shirin's voice telepathically projects. My speech name is Zigvigix, but feel free to call me Ziggy. It would be easier for you. Have some rice candy to celebrate your graduation. Today is your big day.
Thanks,
When you are
Ziggy.
ready... Hello.
Nice chrome you got there. And he flexes his metal arm.
Ziggy sort of like looks about them a little bit and isn't quite as confident about their chrome as you're projecting.
Okay.
When you are ready, I have 2 assignments I could use assistance with. The first is to help me secure a new headquarters here on Absalom Station. I've been in talks with our station's protectors, the stewards, and they were kind enough to give us ownership of a warehouse here in the download for that purpose. The current owners no longer want it because a vicious alien took it over and killed anyone who goes inside. Once the alien is gone and the warehouse cargo has been returned to its owners, we can start installing desks and computers. So please go in and incinerate the creature.
Oh,
I think we should begin by speaking to the creature. Maybe not incinerate straight away.
Many people have tried. Many people have been seriously injured by such actions.
What kind of creature is this?
Here, there's a video of it.
Oh God.
It's a bit gruesome, but if you've got strong enough stomachs, then the local authorities have given me this. And Zigdigix, although I'm probably going to go for Ziggy because it's so much easier, shows you this video of this feathered black and white crinoid. Google it. I had to, and it just basically it's just launching these projectiles at individuals that are coming anywhere near this warehouse. And the video cuts off as there's a cry for help and people are running around. Would anybody like to make a life science check?
Ooh, I will have a.
You have to
I'll
be
have
trained in this.
Yeah, I've got a +9 in life science. I'll make a jolly good go of it.
Please do. How big is the creature in the video?
You would estimate it to be large.
Okay.
And that is 29.
Oh,
Oh, it's a nat 20. Wow, I've never seen
Nice.
20 on roll 20.
Nice.
I have rolled 20.
You believe, and as far as you can make out, there's nobody around to object, that this creature is a feathered stork, a predator far more unpleasant than its name implies. Is there anything particular you would like to know about it? It is a large aberration.
Is it intelligent by Dr.
Not
Calibre standards?
enough for communication. It is pretty much bestial.
Okay. Well, I have some good news and some bad news.
Is there anything else that you wish to know?
Don't suppose it has any glaringly obvious weaknesses that have not been yet exploited by any other team that's decided to go down there and try and kill it yet.
There's no obvious weaknesses. However, there is a bit of a strength to it that you're able to identify. You get the feeling that it has got somewhat resistant to sonic damage.
Okay. Yeah. So Callum's just going to look through the footage and he's like, well, the good news is we could probably beat it at chess. Bad news is we probably couldn't beat it at anything else without weapons. And fire. I suppose he's...
Magic? Would that do the trick?
Magic could work as long as it seems to be fairly resistant to sound. So if you have any non-sound based magic you could apply, that would potentially hurt it a lot.
I'm a bit struggling in that department. I don't really... I'm not designed for frontal magical combat.
Immediately pivots over to Nikon, who looks like he's very much designed for frontal combat. It's like, I suppose there's a flamethrower in your checks notes. Chrome?
Unfortunately not. I'm all analog here otherwise.
So I suppose we'll need some kind of weaponry.
Is it... You said feathered? Is it flying? In the video?
It is not flying in the video.
It's like... Okay, because I googled...
Dr. Callum doesn't believe it is capable of flight, just that it is feathered.
I googled crinoid and I was like, oh, I don't see any... Oh, I guess it's like just feathery tentacles or something.
It's a thing. Yeah.
Well, I got my Dashko and I got my hunting rifle. I'm like, or a grenade always works.
Before you go, there is my second assignment.
Oh, right.
Ziggy twitches her tooth barbs for a moment, then holds out a cred stick. Please buy the brand new Strawberry Machine Cake album, Star Sugar Heart Love, which is out today, and give it to Historia 7 when you see her. She's the head of data files, so you should meet her today. I do wish to do it myself, but I have trouble for standing for long periods of time. Thank you very much.
Now
Oh, that
that's the
sounds
kind
like
of that's the kind of mission I can do. I can do shopping because it takes the credit stick.
They said that they had trouble standing for a long time, and you mentioned that they weren't like super confident about their Chrome. Can I discern if there's any connection there?
Yeah. Let's have a sense motive on that, unless you want to do a medical.
I'm not trained in medical. 11 sense motive.
It's difficult to tell, but it does seem that their Chrome, as you put it, is more.
They're augmentations, I should say.
Yeah, their augmentations are less about the flair and the the enhancement. It's more about the utility.
Okay.
War wounds rather than choice upgrades.
Yeah, I'm cringing a little bit, but on with the task at hand.
Which task would you like to do first?
As much as I would love to go shopping and spend the next couple of hours just spending a lot of my parents' money, it's probably wise that we go and do this creature removal job first, and then we can go sit in line.
Well,
I
I
agree.
suppose. We'll defeat the unspeakable horror, then shopping.
Yes,
And a slay you a copy.
that is very true. I really want a coffee now. It's okay. It's fine.
We'll save it as a
we do
little
it.
reward afterwards.
You are given directions to the warehouse within the down low. Along the way, you pass many shops. If you wish to purchase any additional equipment, you can do so on the way there. If you've got the credits for it, I don't know how extreme everybody went with their pre-game shopping. I know, but whenever I did it, I always used to get it down to single-digit credits, but that was me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's not a lot Lucian can afford, unfortunately. Not unless breaking out the bank of mum and dad.
Yeah, and you're not allowed to do that, I'm afraid.
Credit card's been declined.
Yeah, they didn't approve of your lifestyle choice and have cut you off.
Yep.
As you approach the warehouse, you notice that it has been there's station security that have secured the place. They've erected a force shield around it, which you can identify as basically nobody gets in, nobody gets out. As you approach, they say, please go around. This area isn't safe.
Yes, that's why we are here. And then he's gonna waggle his one ear with the little Starfinder glowy. What's it called? The grant in it.
Subdermal graph.
Subdermal graft. That's it. Subdermal graft.
Oh, they've finally decided to send some people to clear this place out. Well, rather you than me, my friends.
We're gonna try our best.
Does appear we've drawn the short straw, but nevertheless, I feel optimistic that some of us will survive this. So,
but yeah, if you get into trouble in there, we ain't coming in after you. If you sprint towards a barrier, we'll lower it to get you back out again. But you're on your own.
thank you for that vote of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
They lower the barrier shields just enough for you to be able to push through and press into the warehouse.
If you don't mind, Nikon will go in first or in front. He's wearing EVA, an EVA suit, a reinforced EVA suit. So like, it's for extra vehicular activity. But it's got like a big helmet on. I imagine it's like a BMX or sort of stuff, but it's a heavy armor, so it's like metal plating. He draws his doshko, which if you don't know is like a big stick, and at the end is just like a triangular point, which is very much a popularized Vesk weapon.
How many prongs does it have?
I think just the 3.
Okay.
It's just the basic tactical doshko.
You've yet to earn the others then.
Yeah, Dr. Callum's just going to look at his formal business suit and lab coat, and then over to this like absolute behemoth, like covered in weapons and metal. Like, yeah, you can go first.
Mm-hmm. No, this one has just the one triangular blade, so it's kind of like an axe.
Ooh.
But yeah, Behemoth maybe, but he's like gangly, so he kind of just looks like this like weird thin head like popping out of all of this armor, and then like his chrome arm is the only thing that's like not covered in the armor.
That sounds disturbing.
Well,
not gonna lie, just this gangly metal man. Roll20 should have moved you to the new map.
Are there tokens on there already?
Yep.
Right. There we are.
Feel free to move yourselves around. I've placed Nikon in the lead, but if anybody else would like to sprint directly into the middle of the room, that's your prerogative.
I am not responsible for what happens.
I'll move forward. I'm slower, so I'm at like 25 feet.
But yeah, as you were, stay by the door. I've got to describe them.
Sorry.
As you approach the warehouse, you see that the doors were forced open from the inside and the lock no longer works. The ceiling is 30 feet high and a catwalk runs around the room 15 feet above the floor. There are crates and vehicles in here that are approximately 5 feet tall. The cylindrical containers and the crates on the scaffolding over in the northwest are 10 feet tall. Climbing any of the crates of the scaffolding is going to require an athletics check. You can also see in the dim light that there's been some broken equipment, as well as there seems to be some damage to the floor of this place. But the entire place is barely illuminated. It is in dim light. Could I get perception checks from everyone, please?
Yeah.
I think we all might have low light vision.
I have low light vision, yes.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
20 for perception.
I got a 13.
Please be a pen. Sorry, I'm talking to my...
19
sorry,
total.
Nikon. So what? Sorry, what was you?
13 for Nikon.
13, and Dr. Callan?
19.
And Lucian?
11.
You're 11. Okie dokie. Right. You can now explore the space.
Okay. Great.
Callum's going to look for just like a little like lump of something, bit of debris or something, like a brick or something. They just want to hurl it as far as they can and see if the noise attracts anything before they wander out there.
Where are you hurling it?
I'm going to hurl it as far as I can towards this ominous-looking hole. which looks ominous.
If you left click and hold on Roll20, it'll ping a location. But yeah, I see what you mean. Okay. The rock, brick, whatever it is that you find to hand goes skittering across the floor, and you can hear the noise of it echo around the room just before it comes to a halt.
Nikon's just got the Doshkon is just slowly stomping, plodding forward.
What's everybody's vision ranges in the dim light?
Mine is 60 foot.
I think -2.
I think that's the 60 foot should be your dark vision ranges.
Yeah.
But with low light, we should be able to see just as normal in dim.
Yes.
In dim light.
Yeah.
As if it were normal light. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Well, I was hoping that would draw the monster out, and then we could set it on fire and go home and get coffee. But apparently, this will be more involved.
I think Lucian is going to, rather than look around the floor, try and maybe get up one of these catwalks and look up from above.
Yeah, by all means, move yourself and Roll20 to wherever you want to be. Yep, more than welcome to explore the space. Yep.
Nice and high. Not that it helps with her 11 perception.
Well, just looks over to Z, just shrugs, and it's like, well, I guess we'll go the other side. If we spread out, we'll have the best chance of seeing it.
Yes. I would like to try to move as stealthily as possible.
Yes, make me a stealth roll.
All right. No. 12.
That's 12. Let's see how that compares to something. When I remember where they... Oh, there it is. Oh, okay. Yep. By all means, carry on moving around the room.
Nikon will go up to the hole.
And as you approach it, you can see that, something has been sort of like clawing into this place, and you can see a bunch of wires that have broken and are just flopping down into the hole. It looks to be about 10 feet deep. Appears to be empty. It's not a tunnel.
He'll just shout back, "It's empty!"
Yeah, I mean, Callum's just watching everyone sort of spreading out and working their way across the rooms. Like, it seems far too quiet.
I think, well, rule 1, never say too quiet. Secondly, I think Lucian's going to try and do detect magic. See if he can see anything that might... It's a 60-foot range in a cone. Just kind of looking towards the back of the room, see if you can detect anything spell or spell affected.
Yep, as you sort of cast detect magic and cast your eyes around the room, you don't get a ping of any variety. Certainly indicates whatever's in the storage boxes certainly magical, but you don't see from your current location any creature that would appear to be magical.
Well, that's that one out the window. I have exhausted all of my options.
What sort of debris is this on the floor over here?
It looks to be the contents of a smashed open crate.
Do I recognize any items, any of the broken items or parts?
Make me a investigation. Is that a check that I can ask for in Starfinder?
Probably perception.
Is it not an investigation? The perception investigation, either or. Is that a thing? I forget my Starfinder. Okay.
17?
You notice that there's broken flashlights, there's broken batteries, there's a few other bits of paraphernalia that are just like home wares, so like a blender and things like that. It looks to be a warehouse of just general household stuff.
Is that a vehicle in the corner?
It is. It looks to be some form of ground car.
Nakon will start moving over there.
Everybody stop.
Ah!
You've activated the trap card.
Dr. Callum.
Hey boy.
Over to your, directly in front of you as you're walking along the catwalk, you noticed sort of like on the ceiling, pressed into the corner, is this feathered stalker. It seems to be trying to remain unnoticed.
Don't bother. Callum is going to try and like wave his hand to try and get Lucien or Nikon, or even, I don't know if you can see them from all the way across there. But they're just going to start frantically like waving their arm like this, trying to get someone's attention.
Are you shouting out or anything like that?
No, they're just going to be like...
All right. Could everybody make me perception checks apart from Callum?
15.
16.
16 as well.
Through Dr. Callum's gesturings, you all sort of like wonder what they're doing, but as you follow their arms as they're waved, and you can just make out a very sort of like a dark patch on the ceiling. You're struggling to make out any particular detail, but given Dr. Callum's proximity to it, you suspect that they might have spotted something.
I'm gonna sheathe my Doshko and pull out my hunting rifle.
Okay.
And turn the safety off.
Is anybody else taking any actions before we roll for initiative?
I will draw my pulsecaster pistol.
Yeah, I think Lucian will pull out her pistol as well. But aside from that, no.
And Dr. Callum?
I mean, I'm a doctor, so I'm not really supposed to have weapons. However, I did bring one incendiary grade for emergencies. So...
Well, that's
it's a medical
choice.
device. It's a medical device.
Okay.
Its purpose is to stop me dying.
Fair enough.
So he's going to just take it from the little... He's got a little... Inside his lab coat, he's just got like regular pockets, and then there's a little liner pocket that's like not too obvious, and he's going to slowly reach into there and slowly just pull it out and keep it in his hand. But he's not going to lob it or do anything like that.
Yep. All right. Could everybody roll for initiative?
I still can't believe this guy has a better initiative than my main character.
So in Roll20, you can actually... There's a macro. When you click your token, and then the top left, there's an initiative button. And then you can put your initiative modifier in there, and then it'll automatically put it... Oh, wow. I'll roll the 3. Will automatically put it on the initiative tracker.
I rolled a 4, so... what was it? Click... which one?
Click your token, and then the top left, there's an initiative button.
That's on left.
I typed in my results, not the modifier, so ignore that first roll. Okay, do you know what? That's even... Okay.
So I don't use Roll20 much. I don't know where the initiative... Oh, there's an initiative.
I got it.
Oh.
Don't worry,
I
Krifu's
cannot
got
figure out how to.
Yeah, so click it and then
I got a 23, but I can't figure out how to add that to the
yeah.
Let
roll
me
20.
just throw y'all on there.
Yeah, my roll was 9, which is terrible. But it's about half the course for me in initiative, so
9.
How do I add a thing on there?
You right-click the token and then add turn at the top of the options. And what was yours, Z? Your initiative?
23.
Oh. There you
There
go.
we go. I can do. Oh no, I just deleted it. Right, so.
I think one of my goals in the new year might be to pick up a new VTT. Haven't, not 100%, but and then you can there now it's alpha numerically descending.
Yep, great stuff. All right, Z, you are up.
Okay. Let's see. How can I get... There's no way on this side to get up onto the catwalk, is there? I'll have to move back in the opposite direction.
You could, so them cylinders to your south are 10 feet high. You could hop from one cylinder to the other cylinder and then try to climb up on the catwalk. You're probably looking at making a couple of athletics checks to get up to the catwalk, though.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try that.
All right, can you make me an athletics check?
Yes. 21.
You managed to make it on top of the cylinders and over to the catwalk. Can you make me another athletics check to try to make it up onto the catwalk?
Yes. Oh no. 5.
You struggle with getting up onto the catwalk. You know, any climb, anything that you think that you can grab hold of to pull yourself up there, it is just out of reach. You'd have to make a jump for it and hope that you manage to grab on. Otherwise, you're just going to eat the dirt, which is now 10 feet below you.
Would jumping be in acrobatics? Check?
I'll allow you acrobatics or athletics.
Okay.
Ooh,
But if
we,
you
I
fail
will
it this
try.
time, you will be falling into the dirt.
we got
Okay.
a stretch in the chat.
Oh,
Stretch it.
there goes my back.
Okay, using acrobatics, I got 24.
Hey, you managed to make it up onto the catwalk.
Okay.
So that's likely to be most of your movement and your action to get there.
Right. Okay.
Is there anything else you would like to do?
I don't think there's anything else I can do at this point.
The activation of the subdermal graft is a swift action. It would illuminate you ever so slightly. But yeah, I don't think you got much else.
No.
Do it.
Lucian.
I think all Lucian can really do is move across the catwalk. So 30 feet that way takes her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, takes her to there. You can expend your other action to move another 30 feet, can't you?
Yeah, you can burn your action to drop it down to another move action and move another 30 feet.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's all she's going to do.
Okay,
kind of,
and
quietly
just
running
as an
across the catwalk.
FYI, one of the things that you can actually do in Starfinder is what is essentially a full round sprint that allows you to move up to 4 times your speed, in a straight line. Basically, it takes everything, your standard action, your move action, your swift actions as well. So if you wanted, I would allow you to retroactively say, yeah, I sprint down the catwalk to the corner. Unless you're not wanting to get into the combat too quickly and you can be halfway across the catwalk.
Come on, man. The water's fine.
I think Lucian's going to do it. She's going to sprint across to the corner. It's fine. Right?
All right. And Callum.
I mean, so far the feathered thing hasn't reacted to any of it, has it? So
No.
Callum's tempted to. Oh, what's that distance? Yeah, Callum is gonna very tentatively just sort of like, he can't really stealth because he's a +0 in it, but he's gonna tentatively move back to probably to where Z is, and then just with his other hand just holster the needler rifle he keeps, which is actually a piece of medical kit, but it can also do damage in emergencies. So just going to like look over to Z and then look over to this creature and then just slowly unholster the rifle as well and keep it sort of ready to go, but he's not going to engage it yet because he wants everyone to get ready.
Also, I believe you have a +1 to your attack bonus yet?
Do I have a +1 to my attack bonus? That is a good question.
Probably not at this level 1. I don't think.
Yeah, in which case it would have been actually your action to draw the weapon, so there's nothing you could do at this stage.
Yeah, so in that case, he's just going to move back to there then.
Yep. All right, Nikon, you're up.
Nikon has the hunting rifle in his hands. I'm within range. I can see a
What's
dark
the range?
90 feet.
Okay, you're in range.
I can see a dark, shadowy, feathery shape up there that's large-sized.
You're struggling to make it out, but you can see something is up there, and yes, it is large.
I'm gonna shoot twice. Full round action, baby.
All right.
I'll use roll
Now
20 for
I need-
this shot.
By all means.
-2 to both of these, but who cares? Just
Oh,
like-
you managed to build it up to a -2 at first level.
Yeah. I'm a strength-based soldier, so it's a little. But anyway, here we go. Here's the first one. 0, and the second one. 4.
Okay, they both miss.
I like to imagine that Gallum's just looking over the banister to see like this weapon get raised, and then just like it's like, and then these bullets just go all the way around. It's like
It's a rifle, so it's like 2 big bangs, and you just see the land-based vehicle in front of him. It just has like these 2 bullet holes in it now.
Well, at least you didn't shoot up the ceiling. All right, that's Nikon, I believe, yes?
Yep, that's it.
All right, over to Z.
Has the creature in the corner reacted in any way to us
It's
getting
now
near it?
starting to look very agitated because somebody let off a gun in its general direction.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to attack it unless it attacks first.
Very noble of you.
And we've already established that they can't communicate, can they?
Yeah, it is very much it's a bestial intelligence aberration.
Okay. In Starfinder, can you hold your action like you can in 5e?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
I can't quite remember if you can, but yes, you may.
Okay, I'd like to do that. If it makes any move to attack any of us, I will fire my pulsecaster pistol.
What's the range on the pulsecaster pistol?
It is 30 feet.
Okay, so you're probably
I
going to
should
be
probably
taking.
move a little closer first.
You might. Well, you can fire up to 10 times your range increment, but every increment over range. So if it's 60 feet away, you'd take a -2 penalty. If it's 90 feet away, you'd be a -4 penalty, etc. So you can fire from where you are, but you're looking. I believe you're 60 feet straight, and it's 15 feet in the air, so you're probably looking at a -4 bonus if you were to fire from there.
Okay. I'll move a little closer.
Ready?
Okay, yeah, but besides that, I will hold my action.
Okay. Great. Moving close to the bad guy. That's just what I wanted. Lucian.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So it's going to move her full action forward, one action forward. How does that put us in? Just out of range of anything spell-like. I think Lucian's going to do a very similar thing. She's going to have her pistol out forward and kind of hold her action so that if the creature tries coming towards her, she'll shoot.
Okay, dokie.
If in doubt, Overwatch.
Yeah, makes sense. All right. With you approaching, with the gunshots going off, Lucian is a 1. Z is a 2. It's a 1. Of course it is. My dice rolls. Okay, so it is going to pull off one of its limbs that was adhering it to the wall, and make a quick flick of that tentacle, and it is going to launch a feathered quill out at you. And I say quill, it hits more like a harpoon. That's a 26 to hit.
Yeah, that's going to do it.
Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
And that is 7 points of piercing damage.
Okie coke. Well, that is all of her stamina gone. So if I can actually edit roll 20, thank you very much. So that's all her stamina and losing 1 point. So she's down to 9. As she gets hit by it, like ow! Really? This was my best weave armor.
So it has made an offensive action against one of you.
All right. So
Now,
then
you don't have to take your aggressive actions if you've changed your mind.
Yeah, we may have lost the element of surprise.
You don't say.
I mean, that kind of went when somebody let off a gun.
Twice. Is that it out of stuff to do?
It will. Well, I got 2 incoming attacks, don't I?
Yes,
yes.
I'm. My pulsecaster pistol is non-lethal, so.
Yep.
I can just try to. I've forgotten the word.
Knock it out. The
Yeah, just
non-lethal
knock it out.
matters most when it's the last hit point.
I'm not entirely sure about how to roll for damage here.
Well,
to
first of
roll
all, you
for
need
an
to roll to
attack.
hit.
Yeah, to roll for an attack, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, just 1d20 plus.
It's this +2 or -2/-2?
Oh,
Take-
that'd be if you're making a full round attack, which is 2 attacks in the same round, but you won't be
okay.
able to hold that because you moved, so it would be a +2.
Okay, so 21.
That will definitely hit.
And 3 damage.
Okie dokie. I'd say first blood to Z, but it's non-lethal, so it's like first hit to Z. And Lucian.
Lucian went 18.
18.
Projectile attack.
It hits.
Okay. So this is. Oh, that's nice. That's 5 piercing damage.
Okay.
Shit.
First blood to Lucian.
Standard
Yes.
projectile pistol. Can't go wrong with it.
Nice. All right. It is now I think it's going to crawl along the ceiling a little bit. Out of the way of the person who hurt it most. And it's going to move up to there. It is still 15 feet above you, Z. But it is now over to Callum.
Callum is going to. I'm going to pull out my. Sorry, some sushi just arrived. Yeah, he is going to use one of his biohacker abilities, and it's pharmacology inhibitor, which is you introduce a mild hallucinogen into a living creature's body, which makes it difficult for the target to move or act. The target gains the encumbered condition and must succeed a fortitude save, or it also gains the entangled condition.
Wow.
And the way he's going to do that is he's going to pull out his medical kit, sort of rummage through it, panicked as this thing's crawl along the ceiling towards him, like, and then pull out this little capsule that's like the size of a pill, and then just like close one of his eyes and just flick it towards it, and as it flicks, it just disperses into mist, and then just like wait and hope that it worked.
What's the DC on that fortitude save?
DC is 13 for that.
I rolled a 13, I'm afraid to say, so it is just encumbered.
Heck. That's better than nothing. He just sees it like inhaling the mist and he's just like, hope that works, or I'm about to get slapped with a very big feather, I fear.
Trying to remember everything about encumbered. Reducing your movement speeds by 10 feet. Your maximum dex bonus to AC is reduced to +2, and you take a -5 penalty to strength and dex-based checks. All right. Anything else that Callum would like to do?
He'd like to run away, to be honest, but... So this thing's walking along the ceiling, isn't it? So...
It's more along the wall, but yes, it's up above you.
Okay, I think what he might do with his movement is going to try and jump across to... Sorry. Someone has taken away my sushi. He's going to try and jump across from where he's sitting to those cylinders.
Oh, okay.
Since they're further away from the wall, figures that there's a better chance of this thing not being able to reach him. No.
Yep. Make me a athletics acrobatics check.
I'm glad you said acrobatics, because I have a +0 to that compared to athletics where I have an actual -1. So... oh, okay, ignore that. I rolled a D2 by accident. Oh god, that's 3. That's somehow worse. It's better, but it's somehow worse. Yeah, that's a total of 3.
So yeah, you jump down and you struggle with the landing a little bit. You fall, manage to grab onto the side so you don't plummet all the way down, but you are technically prone at the moment. So you're going to have to stand next turn if you want to move, or just take the hit and roll off the edge and hope the floor isn't too hard. Alrighty then. Nikon, you are up.
Nikon's gonna do the exact same thing and shoot twice from where he's at. He like is just training his eye through the sight. And
now that it's started moving, you can much more clearly make out this thing's form. So blame it on that.
Yeah, let's. I hope that'll do it. Natural 20.
That'll do it.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll the second one.
Yep.
6. So.
Your 6 is gonna miss, but your natural 20 is gonna make up a little bit for that.
13 points of damage.
Nice.
13
and 8. It's 21. Alrighty then. Looking a little rough.
Yeah, he's only got 2 bullets left in the chamber, so you just hear like a bang, bang, and like the bullet hitting the ground, clinking.
All right, and now over to Z.
All right, I'll try to use the Pulsecaster pistol again. I don't really want to kill it.
Do you, just a suggestion, want to try a trick attack?
Let me see.
The operative go-to, essentially? Because if you can trick it, it'll be easier to hit, and then you'll do extra damage.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you fail to trick it, you can still shoot it. But
That
you
is
can't run
true.
away.
Okay. So I can add, let's see. Bluff, intimidate, or stealth?
Well, I don't think stealth is going to really work here.
No.
But you can try one of the other two.
Okay, I'll try bluff. Okay. 26.
It's 20 plus CR, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that is a success.
All right.
So now you get to roll your attack and add. I will factor the fact that it is now flat-footed against this attack, and if you hit, you get a D4 on top of it, I believe.
Okay, so 2d4.
But you need to hit first.
Oh, right.
It's one of the awkward things about the operatives. It's like you've got to roll your trick shot, and then you actually need to hit it.
Okay, I got a 20.
That'll do.
All right. 7 damage.
7, and it recoils in pain, but it doesn't go unconscious, I'm afraid.
Does it look wounded at all? Like, is it bleeding or?
It looks to be in serious pain.
Callum's immediately torn because all his program is like, you should be trying to stop things being in pain. But on the other hand, he's thinking, this doesn't really seem like a patient. So,
I mean, that's, yeah.
yeah.
It's a moral quandary, I suppose.
Think about all
Lucian.
the future lives you're saving.
Yeah, I mean, the oath that he took said first do no harm, but 2 people have harmed him already, so really he's third doing harm at this point, which is fine. So, loopholes.
Lucian.
I think Lucian is going to.
Don't tell me you've
risk
got
it.
moral quandaries about this.
No. It's more whether she's going to risk it or not. I think she's going to risk it. She's not going to move forward. She's just going to like just aim her pistol and try and do a full attack.
Okay.
Against it as well. So
That is going to be. What's your range on the pistol?
30. I think
In
it
which-
might just be a little bit far, so this might be -5.
So you're going to take a -4 for the.
That's -3 for me.
No, is it a -3 for right? So yes, it will be a -5 for each
-5.
attack. It's one of them. There's so many ways of building characters these days, and the rest of it.
So 15 and 14. I rolled a nat 20, but
And this is KAC.
it's P damage, projectile damage, piercing.
Nat
So-
20
yeah.
and nat 20.
But they both hit.
Oh.
Okay. So remind me what the nat 20 damage was?
You double
Just double
everything.
Double the dice,
everything.
double the modifier.
Okay, well, I get no modifier, but so essentially it's equivalent of 3d6 at this point. And that's 11 damage.
Is that the total?
That's a total for both attacks, yeah.
Okay, it is super dead.
I think
brilliant.
Lucian is kind of like looking at Z doing like trick shots, just kind of like holding her pistol at a side like that, kind of going trying to look like clever with it. But like she's hitting, but she's not looking particularly cool while doing it.
Are you closing your eyes as you're pulling the trigger on?
Basically, yeah. I mean, she's wearing her glasses, so no one can actually tell that she's closing her eyes. It's just there, go. It's got to hit.
Okay. So we're out of combat
But
now.
yes, as it dies, it sort of like slumps off a wall, and you can hear sort of like the adhesive or whatever it was attaching it to the wall and starting to give them this tearing noise before it flumps down in front of you. Z, it is quite dead.
Oh.
Oh. That was easier than anticipated.
I mean, yeah, that's easy for some people to say. She says as she's like pulls like a harpoon quirrell out of her arm.
Still, I would have preferred not to kill it. Just incapacitate it and possibly relocate it.
Oh. That being said, now that it's dead, Callum gracefully clambering his way back onto the platform, just goes up to it, and then he's going to take out his micro lab, the little thing he was tapping on earlier to make that pill, and then he's just going to get a little scalpel out of that, and he's going to take a little sample out of like one of the feathers, and just pull that out and just like examine it and look it over, and then just tucks it into a little like glass vial and puts it into his kit.
Nikon's over at the land vehicle, and he just takes his sleeve and like rubs the bullet holes, and is like, that'll buff out, I'm sure.
It's not like anyone actually cares what's in here. I mean, this place was trashed ages before we arrived. What's a few more bullet holes?
Yeah, I definitely saw this monster shoot that windscreen twice.
Yeah, it wrested the gun from me. You know, it was pretty dramatic.
Yeah, yes, that's definitely what happened, and that's what we're definitely going to tell the Starfinders, aren't we?
Yeah, why not? Well, definitely
Yes.
tell them that Lucian was quite the shot there at the end. Good job.
Yeah, she doesn't quite know how to play it. She says she only goes, oh well, yeah, I divined that they were going to hit, so I didn't even need to look. Yeah, you know that's me.
Lucian, you have a hole in you.
Yes, I do seem to have a bit of a hole.
As a doctor, I can advise that that's invisible, and he's going to
don't
pocket
say.
that sample, and then he's going to make his way over to Lucian and inspect it more closely, and probably do a medical roll if they'll allow, if she'll let him.
Oh yeah, she's not going to resist.
Yeah, because I have a +8 in medicine because I'm a doctor and it's required.
Are you treating deadly wounds?
Deadly-ish. I mean, how injured does Lucien look? Are you milking? Are you selling to me that you need medical attention, or are you stoically working off like?
It went through into her, but it didn't hit anything critical. So it's livable, but she's kind of just being like, oh, woe is me, I got hit. No one else got hit. You know, why is it that I, the non-combat specialist, was the one that got hit? Where were the other people?
10-minute coffee break and you'll be fine.
Like Dr. Gray is just like sewing up all of this with I do the roll first actually, in case I screw it up. Total of 20 they're just like patching the wound, like, yes, you're very brave. I saw that. That was a very good shot. And then like finishes stitching up the wound, pulls out a lollipop, hands it to her.
I'll take that. That doesn't change the coffee. The coffee still stands.
Yeah.
The DC of treating deadly wounds is on your med kit if you've got one.
Yeah. They've got their custom micro lab, which yeah.
It might be 20 actually.
It's a sodding wall of text, is what it is. Good grief.
Yep. I'm sorry, I was looking up the DC of this, and it was like, oh wait, no, it's based on the med kit that you're using, and then it's like, it's the
25 for a basic.
Yeah,
med kit.
25. Yeah. It's right at the bottom of the wall of text.
Yeah. So you've managed to make it look presentable, but you've not actually restored that 1 HP, I'm afraid to say. And that is the only time that you can do that in this 24-hour period.
That is true. It was an attempt.
Oh, well, you tried. I mean, how many doctors do you have again?
Just the two.
Okay.
So yes, with the creature defeated, you go to exit the warehouse, and the security personnel stationed at the edge are surprised to see that you've not come running out screaming, and they ask, how did it go in there?
Well, it was an experience, let's say.
We killed it.
It is very dead, yes.
Was it safe enough for us to go in and start cleaning up?
There's a large hole in the floor, so I'm sure we put a fence around that. And there's a dead creature on the gantry. It put a hole in that car windscreen. I don't know whose car it is. It's terrible, really. But
Yeah.
Yes.
Most of the stuff in there was a write-off. The owners would like anything salvageable back, but if it's not salvageable, don't worry about it.
Oh, jolly good.
I trust you'll be able to report this to the Zigvig. Zigvig.
Ziggy?
Ziggy Wiggy.
Yes, we can report back to him. He gave us a few other errands to take care of first, but I'm sure we can carry the message across that the warehouse is now safe for occupation.
All right. Well, leave the cleanup to us, and thank you. Makes a change.
He just nods to the Starfinder agent. It's just like, So, coffee?
Coffee.
Coffee and albums.
Oh,
And
yes.
as you get your coffee and start lining up, you are very glad that you grabbed that coffee. The line for the buying the Strawberry Machine Cake album, Sugar Pop. Wait, no, I've forgotten what it's called again.
Oh, strawberry machine cake.
Yep, that's the name of the band. It's Star Sugar Heart Love, which is the name of the album.
Oh, right.
The queue is just miles long. You're going to be waiting here a while. Are you all waiting in line?
Who here is against faking a medical emergency for the purposes of queue skipping?
I think Lucian's trying to hide it a little bit, but she definitely is kind of happy that she's here because she kind of is a fan too and was meaning to get this album anyway, so this is kind of dual purpose. It's like, I mean, I have command, but I don't think I can command this many people to go to the back of the queue.
You also get the sense that if things aren't done orderly, there could be a riot, and that would be bad.
These fans are savage. I should know, Dark Windface.
We'll wait. I mean, how long can it take?
All right, everybody make me a fortitude saving throw.
Oh no.
Heck.
Fortitude.
+2.
16 for Lucian.
12 for Nikon.
14 for Dr. Prey.
I cannot find my fortitude on this character sheet.
It's usually near your hit points.
Under defenses?
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
12.
We are very consistent as a team.
You all manage to stave off the fatigue of standing in line for 6 hours. The coffee probably helped. Lucian, that will count as a rest if you wish to expend one of your resolve points for your stamina back. As you get towards the front of the queue, could everybody make me a reflex saving throw?
Oh god.
I'd like to imagine that while he's waiting, Callum's visor, like instead of having the two little digital eyes, just has a screensaver, and it's that DVD symbol that just bounces around the edges until someone like pokes him. A reflex.
A reflex.
+1.
I got
Plus
14.
20.
3.
Nikon?
15.
15. So, Dr. Callum, you said 3, was that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. As you're sort of like making your way in, there's a bit of rush in the crowd. Everybody manages to keep their feet, but Dr. Callum, you're sort of like slammed into a door frame, and you will take 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
He's just like, well, that queue was very tedious, but at least you managed to make it to the front without anyone getting hurt. Oh god! Bodied by fans.
You've got to go with the flow. When you feel them go forward, push yourself forward. It's the first time you've been in a queue like this.
Is trampled. -2.
Ziggy gave you a cred stick with 50 credits on there, which just so happens to be the price of the album Star Sugar Heart Love. There are plenty on sale, and you note that this is a limited edition, 1 day only, before it goes on to digital release. How many albums are you buying? You can... Well, what do you think?
You mean this could have done this as a digital download instead of queuing for 6 hours?
Yeah, but it's
Digital
special
download
edition.
comes out tomorrow.
No.
And
I
it's
can have
a
this
special
listened to.
edition.
Yeah, I can have this listened to and put on the whole web before the end of today. I'll spoil it for everyone who couldn't get it.
That sounds ethically questionable.
She checks her her own cred stick now that she realizes her parents' one is no longer working, and realizes that there isn't enough for her to get her own copy. She only has 15 credits on there, and looks a little bit. Well, we came here for the one. We'll get the one we need for Starfinder.
Yeah, this is all entirely alien to Dr. Prey as well. In that, he has no concept of music beyond that other people, normally fleshy people, listen to it and enjoy it.
Well, if you get me this, I can definitely demonstrate music to you.
I suppose we have to purchase one anyway.
So what's
Very
the
well,
second
I will
one?
try music.
Is Dr.
Totally
Callum
not wrong.
buying a copy of it?
Yes, for 50 credits, which I believe is all my damn money.
Wow, Callum's rich.
I'm taking that as Nikon doesn't have the 50 credits.
No, Nikon neither has the credits nor the interest. He's more of a Doc Rock kind of music listener.
I had it open. Sorry. Yes, I have 70 credits, and I just spent 50 of them on music. So, if he doesn't like it, he's returning it.
Z.
I will not buy one, but I've never heard this band before, but maybe if we ask Zigvigix very nicely, they'll let us listen.
Well, it's a
It's
gift
okay.
for Historia, he said.
Oh,
You can listen to my copy.
thank you.
Just don't tear the wrapping too much. If it's bad, I'm going to return it.
How can it be bad? It's not bad. It's good.
And with that, you have endured the queue for purchasing the album. What are you doing now?
We'll report back and then make our way to Historia. Is she on our list of people to visit anyway?
She will be on your visit, a list of people to visit. However, they're not the next ones you're going to be visiting. You've got a shuttle scheduled
Oh.
to take you out to the Master of Stars. You return to Zigvig and explain what happened at the warehouse, and they seem to be satisfied. You've got physical copies of the album, and you say that you pass them along to Historia's Heaven. They are happy with that. And they present you with some rewards. And unfortunately, we can't really afford much in the way of credits at the moment. But we have this, and they give you a basic iridescent shell armor, a pair of incendiary grenades, 1, and 400 credits, because they said that they didn't have many credits, but they had credits.
And this is significantly more credits than I had before. So
have fun with the grenades, but don't blow yourselves up. I like you.
That's almost praise. So yeah, I guess he'll Dr. Prey will take the 400 credits and split them into 100 each and just hand them out to everyone else. And so I'm not really one for armor of this type. Does anyone have a use for this?
It's heavy armor.
I don't really have a.
It's gleaming metal plates locked together to form a suit of heavy armor reminiscent of an insect's shell.
It's very pretty though.
Yeah, it might have gold or silver trim even, and it's better than what I have.
Well, considering I don't think any of us can actually wear heavy armor aside from you.
Yeah,
you can all wear it. You just won't
Right.
have any. You'll have severe penalties if you're wearing it and aren't trained in it. I know. I've had a character who forgot their training in heavy armor.
Well, this way is more than I do, so I suppose Nikon and offers it up to them, just training a little.
Hell yeah.
But yes, you have a shuttle to catch to go out to the Master of Stars, a ship that is the pride of the Starfinder fleet and is operated by the Wayfinders. The station's armada can be seen from the shuttle's view screen as it takes off, gleaming figures standing out against the emptiness of space. The armada is a fleet of ships that are in stationary orbit around Absalon Station. It's a permanent feature, although some ships do come and go. There are some that have basically parked up and haven't left in quite some time. The Master of Stars immediately stands out from the rest as layers and layers of scaffolding obscure its hull. Tiny lights flicker among the metal beams as distant figures weld plates and heat shields to the ship's exterior. The shuttle smoothly glides closer until it reaches the starship's docking bay, slipping through the magic field that keeps a hold pressurized with breathable atmosphere. As the shuttle doors open, a small drone flies in and pops up a holoscreen, displaying a harried-looking ratfloke. Finally, fresh meat, the Yotoki exclaims over the screen, sounding pleased. Name's Fitch. Pleasantry's over. Time to get to work. I had some trouble earlier with lights flickering on the ship, and now both the lights and the computers have suddenly gone out on E-deck. No idea what's causing it, but you work this job long enough, and Fitch's attention flicks to something off-screen, and she shouts, Kifka, that welding torch is not a toy. You want to go in the toddler's pen with the other kids? She snorts dismissively before continuing. Sorry, some of the little ones would cut off their own heads if I let them. Anyway, it could be some lughead screwed up the wiring, but it's pretty big system failure for a simple electrical short. I'd prefer to send in some of the people with combat training to scout it out, just in case someone or something is trying to sabotage the ship. If it's nothing, great. Get the power back on if you can. If there's something suspicious, use your comms units to report to me. I'll give you access codes, so... And Sheshka, if you touch that panel, I'll staple you to the hull. The screen on the drone cuts out, and then flashes to display the ship schematics and pass codes for the computers down on E-deck.
Right back into it, I guess.
Yeah. I had no idea that we were glorified tech support. If I knew that, I'd have called my brother.
Nikon pulls out his phone and takes a picture of whatever the drone is displaying.
And as you sort of like look and you see a sort of like, do you wish to have a file transfer?
Yes,
And it'll
take
give you
that.
all the information. Yeah. Fitch is the leader of the Wayfinders. The Wayfinders are the explorers and first contact specialists of the Starfinder Society. They very much, in a nutshell, they have the same mentality as our very own Z. Don't really know what else to say on that because Z's been doing a very good job at playing the factions.
Well, we want to make a good impression with the factions, and this seems easy enough. So, shall we try to get the lights back on?
I don't suppose why not. Anyone here has any engineering experience?
I have both a computer hacking kit and an engineering kit on me.
Huh.
I think I do too, but I don't seem to have engineering though.
As you go, you're discussing this as you cross over to basically what is the elevator system, and the decks go down through A, B, C. You eventually arrive on E deck, and as the elevator doors open, they stutter for a moment before finally opening up and revealing what appears to be a very disused part of the ship. Even in this darkness, you can see that there is like a buildup of dust and just general refuge, a piece of paper there, a broken board over there, just a few things lying around that suggest that this place doesn't get much use.
Yikes.
You'd have thought they'd sent the cleaners down here, surely.
Yeah.
I mean, surely a ship has enough staff to do this kind of thing.
I'd say my experiences so far with the impeccable reputation of the Starfinders are certainly more tarnished than I was expecting. Looking down at the door that's still trying to open.
Just constantly saying, get out of the lift. Get out of the lift. It's like, we are out of the lift.
Well, considering that the best and brightest Starfinders disappeared a year ago, I guess this is what we're
Their
left with.
population got decimated.
That is a good point, yes. A lot of them are dead, probably.
And that's why we're here. And he just pulls out like a wrench and marches down the hallway.
You start going towards the location where the incident seemed to first occur. And yeah, the first order of business is trying to get some power back into this area. Would you like to make a computers or engineering check to try to reroute power to local systems?
I mean, I have absolutely napple for engineering, but I do have a +7 for computers. So
Okay. I'm setting out a +8 so we can put our heads together.
yeah, I'll assist you for a computers roll. Absolutely.
Make an assistance on the computers roll. You're aiming for a 10, I think it is, or is it a 15?
10.
How do I do assists in roll?
You just roll a standard check, and if you beat a 10, then whoever you're assisting gets a +2.
13.
I'll take the +2 for 25.
Nice.
Yeah. All this time, Dr. Prey's still got his AirPods and he's still listening to Strawberry. Every time I write that name down, I still can't believe it.
It becomes different.
Strawberry machine cake with sugar heart
Does
love.
it? Yeah, they're just like.
Yeah, and you look over at Nikon and sometimes he's a little gritting his teeth together as he's. Hold on, I almost got this, and I don't know, maybe he's soldering something for computering. I don't know.
But yeah, you managed to restore some functionality to this deck. It's not your job to make sure that everything is perfect. That's somebody else's problem, but you've got enough to get the lights on. Some of the computers in the area have also started responding, And Dr. Callum, as you're operating the computer, you notice that the security system flickers into life, and a few of the cameras have responded to the restoration of power.
Huh. Well, that's some semblance of functionality restored, I suppose. We've got security systems, security cameras, lights. That's nice. You can see how dingy and dark the spaceship is now. So yeah, he's just idly flicking through the camera feeds just while he's talking, like not super paying attention, just like tapping through to see what the cameras like are pointing at.
Yeah, some of them, it's just the snow show. They don't seem to have recovered from the power disruption. A lot of them are marking, rooms which just seem to be storage boxes or largely empty. Furniture covered with cloths. One of the cameras shows you two small human children hiding in the corner of a room. Others are just of disused parts of Edek.
Wow. Flagship of the Starfinder Armada. Good grief. Well, I mean, suppose the lights are on now. That's progress. What else do we need to fix on this?
Was there any sign that the computers had been tampered with?
Doesn't appear to be anything of that sort that the computers were tampered with.
Just mechanical failure then, surely. I mean, I'm not an expert.
Maybe one of the Isoki kids with the blowtorch. Mishaps happen.
Oh, failing that, the thing just looks old. I suppose we could go take a look at. I mean, could take a look at the lighting system specifically if we wanted to go down there, but I don't know. I'll defer to you.
Is that drone nearby?
Sorry, I threw it in there, and I'm not sure if everybody glazed over it. I did mention that there was two small children hiding in one of the rooms on this deck.
Oh, sorry. Okay, we missed that.
I thought that was the two from the start. The two that she was yelling at. Stop trying to cut her in.
No, these are human children.
Ah, okay.
Oh.
Wait.
He's just flicking through. It's like, yeah, empty room, 2 stowaways, empty room. What? Wait.
That was a reaction that I was expecting. And it was like, did I remember to say that? Did I not say that and just made it up in my mind?
Yeah, those aren't Isoki kids.
Yes, those are humans. Are they supposed to be there?
Why are they
Where the
hiding?
parents?
Do these cameras have two-way voice feeds?
Yeah, do they have a tannoy?
They do not.
Oh bother. Where is that room?
We managed to pull up a schematic and trace the location of that room.
Alright.
Let's take a look.
Did we also get a comm channel to Fitch?
You can contact Fitch, yes.
Yeah, I suppose Dr. Grace is gonna raise the comms Fitch.
Hello. Keep it quick.
Small question. I'm sure it's nothing, but are there supposed to be any human children aboard the ship currently?
Human children aboard the ship? Yes. On Edek? No.
Well, I have some news. There are 2 children on Edek.
They shouldn't be there. Investigate that. Let me know what you find out. Bye.
Well, we've been promoted. We're no longer maintenance workers. We're now babysitters, apparently. The humans.
Is that a promotion?
I don't know. It feels like a lateral move somewhat, but
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
I remember having a nanny. That was not particularly pleasant. I mean, for her. I mean, for me, it was the time of my life.
oh, you have qualifications in the matter then. Excellent.
All right, take the lead on this one, Lucy.
Oh,
absolutely.
Okay, let's go. Let's go find some brats. Who comes down to an abandoned deck anyway?
Seems like a
I
great.
suppose you're playing hide and seek, but that's you're going very, very far and taking the game far too seriously if you consider going out of this deep, dank hole as a hiding place.
Yes, this definitely feels like a violation of some kind of child safety ordinance.
As you make your way to the location, you wander past rooms, and at times, you open up one of the doors, and it looks like this place was for living quarters and originally intent, but most of it is either just abandoned and covered in dust, or it seems to be now being used for storage of whatever the Master of Stars needs to be carrying, leading you to some odd-looking rooms where you see sort of like a dining table, desks, chairs for recreational things, and then just massive storage crates which are marked as sort of like spare hull parts and the rest of it.
Come to think of it, I'm trying to think if I've ever seen this ship without scaffolding. All the time I've lived here, I think it's always had scaffolding, possibly.
It's only went into for refit. It was actually scheduled to go out to the Scoured Stars incident. However, because of years of not being maintained, it was scheduled for a refit, and that caused a scheduling conflict with the Scoured Stars expedition. Now the Starfinder Society are trying to desperately restore this to its former glory, just as a bit of a figurehead for the latest wave of the Starfinder Society.
Yep, they're gonna need this ship in good operating condition. These kids, we gotta get them out of here.
As you enter the area where you saw the kids on the security cameras, scattered barrels and boxes line the lower floor of this storage chamber. A thick bulkhead on the port side leads farther into the deck, while a similar bulkhead on the aft connects to the arterial hallway that runs the length of the deck.
Okay, little brats, where are you? Could it be somewhere in this room?
Could we tell on the video where they were hiding at the time?
As you saw, like, enter and saw, like, start calling out there, so like, we're here.
Okay, well, that's not a normal response to people playing hide and seek.
Yes, they're not very good at this, are they?
We weren't playing hide and seek, and then the power went out, and we've been stuck here.
Okay.
We're not going to be in trouble for this, are we?
I'm sure we can avoid trouble somehow. I'm quite good at doing that. You just have to find someone else to blame, ultimately. If you can find a fool person, it's generally the best way to get out of these situations.
They start muttering a little bit between each other, and it's like... No, we don't know who we could blame.
Okay. Let's think of it this way. Is there any other children on this ship that you don't particularly like?
No, not really.
Anyone that you could just go, they told you to come down here, and you just, yes, you were foolish, but it wasn't your idea, it was their idea. I used to all the time.
Children, this is called lying.
Yes, this seems like
and it's one of the most useful tools you will ever learn.
You may want to be brave and take responsibility for your actions instead.
Okay.
I suppose.
I'm Kiyu Lion, and this is QC.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, Kiyus, come on, let's get out of here.
I mean, why were you even down here anyway?
Because the power went out.
We were...
You came down here? Or you came
just...
down here and then the power went out?
We just came looking around, that's all.
I find that answer vague and unconvincing.
Make me a sense motive check.
Sense motive. How much I got for that? I have a +5 to that.
Is that factoring in the -2 of androids?
I I think it is, because that's straight from my straight from the skills tab.
That's pretty
Yeah.
good.
It should have mapped all that out for me. Plus 5 is, and that is 14 total.
They're definitely holding something back in regards to why they're down here.
Okay, kids, listen here. Okay, this doc is very good at telling that you're lying. I know how you're lying. You see these glasses, right? They were built by my older brother, and they are very good at telling when people are telling me lies. So, do you want to try again, or do I have to use them?
I mean, what are you going to do to us?
Nothing. We just want to know. It might be connected to something down here. We're not too sure. We are Starfinders. We ask far too many questions, and half the time they go nowhere. But if we don't ask them and we don't get the information, then it'll come back to bite us later. Apparently, that's what being an adventurer is.
Make me either a diplomacy or I'm not sure if you're going down the intimidation route.
It's diplomacy intimidation.
Yeah, diplotation. I'll try diplomacy. 21.
That should probably do it. We found a pet down here, and it seemed to have been abandoned, and we didn't want it to starve, so we've been coming down here to keep it company and feed it. And then the power went out, and we thought we were going to be in trouble, and they find our pet, and we set up, defenses to protect the pet, and now we're in trouble.
Okay. Okay. First of all, defenses to protect the. Okay. What is the pet?
Well, we're not sure.
If it has feathers,
What's
I'm
it
going
look
home.
like?
It looks like a small. The Shirans sometimes eat them, and they kind of look like Shirans, but not as big and as developed.
Some kind of
Okay, medical
insectoid.
robots, identify.
Call me medical robots.
Look, there's many names to learn. I can barely remember my own name.
I have a name tag.
Oh, so you do. Either way, if you'd be so kind.
Medical robot.
Plus, also, I think just Doc works if you can't remember.
I mean, was I not wrong in what I said? It is a
Dr.
robot.
Gray
Technically,
can't
yes,
do the
because they're
medical.
not a robot; they're an android.
Dr. Gray
Um,
can't do the side eye because he just has a visor for a face. So he does like the digital equivalent of a side eye. It's just like two little
Like the squinty eye.
Yeah.
See, I told you.
But yes, you can make a life science check.
Yeah. I'm good at them. Plus 9 is 26. Life science to try and determine what kind of creature is smaller than a Sharon, tameable by a child. Sounds like a riddle. And requires defensive positions, apparently.
What they seem to be describing is nothing that matches what you're aware of in terms of known biology. They're describing a centipede-like creature, about the size of a dog. And the defenses that they need is like they don't want their friend to be hurt or their pet to be hurt or get into trouble with them. So it's not like it needs a defensible position. It's just the kids being kids and setting up defenses.
How about this? If you show us where your pet is, we'll talk to Fitch and we'll see if maybe you can get a proper cage for it and keep it properly rather than hiding it down here. Does that sound like a deal?
I mean, just kind of comes and goes. It's in the other rooms.
And if he says no, we'll just release it anyway. So it's, nothing's going to change.
Callum's just thinking in his mind, like, electrical failures, random animal prowling the halls.
Yeah.
Random animal probably eats electrical cables themselves. And it's like, possible solutions: 1, euthanasia; 2, cage.
You mentioned you've been feeding it. What have you been feeding it?
Pretty much just whatever rations that Daddy gives us. They leave us in the daycare all day, and it kind of gets boring up there.
Now that I can relate with. Daycare is a prison.
Technically, prison is a prison, but
You've not been there. It is terrible.
You've been to prison?
No, daycare. I mean, if I've been to prison, then who knows by the end of this? But
let's take a look at this thing. Make sure it's not causing more trouble than we need.
Don't forget about the trap.
The trap.
What?
Okay, you're coming with us.
I just want to grab one of them by the ear and drag them along.
Ow, ow, ow,
Hold on. Child ears are fragile. You have to grab them by the scruff.
All right, scruff then.
Much better. Yes, good.
And I'm dragging with my flesh arm, not my cyber arm.
it's a fine line between discipline and child abuse, Yeah.
Yes. On Verses, we don't believe in corporal punishment.
That explains a lot. Anyway, let's go see what this creature is before I get any more dust on my costume.
Your
So-
pet, does it have a name?
Well, we've not really thought about naming them yet.
Miscellaneous creature. Very well, I'll call them Misk now.
They point out the jury-rigged defenses that they've got set up. They're not quite sure how they'd manage to set it up and if they could themselves disable it.
On a scale of lethal to Home Alone, how
It's very much Home Alone.
Yeah.
It doesn't appear to be lethal. It just seems to be that they've got the fire suppressant systems rigged up to a thermal sensor that they've managed to trick into activating at a lower temperature than fire.
Hmm.
Well, that's borderline impressive, actually.
Yeah. Any chance I can
it's-
unjury rig this?
You can give it a try, but you're going to have to get close enough that if you fail, then it is going to trigger in your face. But as you can see, it's not going to kill you.
It'll just be annoying.
It could be potentially annoying, yes.
Do y'all mind if I move in?
By all means. Lucien,
I mean,
make it
if
room.
you want to get hit by whatever's in there, by all means, be my guest.
Just looking around at all the fire suppression nozzles like around the room, it's like, I think it may be more than just him.
Okay,
Picks
so
up a kid and uses an umbrella.
I'll move in. I'll pull out my
Put them down. Put them down.
my engineering kit. So it's got like, I don't know, wrenches, and I think it's just a roll of Allen wrenches, basically.
So yeah, make me a engineering check.
15.
That is just what you needed.
Oh.
And yes, you managed to decouple the heat sensor and reset that back to its standard parameters. And it's no longer going to go off just because you're in the room.
Okay, so if they ever want to use this space for something regular, they can.
Ah, good. And I trust in
However-
fire, it will still work.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
However, kids, that was extremely clever and something you should definitely remember for the future. You could cause a lot of chaos on this ship if you did that in other places.
You You are a god-awful role model. I don't think I tell you that enough.
No, we have a point.
Pay attention. She knows what she's talking about.
So yeah, you see, so like beyond here, there's another couple of rooms, and does anybody want to make me a survival check?
I can try.
I've got
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
pretty good
Lucian will
survival.
try. Get a plus with the survival.
I'll assist on some survival, or I only have a +2. So it's
Probably better just for all of us to roll it individually.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody
Well,
roll it individually. Let's see what you can bumble your way through.
Lucian got 22.
7.
14.
6. Which is almost...
She knows how to land on her feet.
Lucian, you can see that the this creature does indeed seem to be centipede-like, and it's been basically just doing tracks throughout the room, crawling in some of the vents and coming out of other vents across the wall, down into another vent, coming out back into another vent, up the wall, over the ceiling, and it just seems to be running or the tracks appear that it's constantly going through all of these different vents.
Well, it seems to be occupying itself.
For now, still concerned that it just happened to so be in the area of the ship that had the most electrical damage.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be a coincidence.
And if it's in the vents, maybe it has access to something sensitive.
Oh, I'm sure it's not that bad. I think Lucian's going to go to one of the vent holes and just going to put her head in to have a bit of a look.
You can see that it's perfectly sized that you could start crawling through here. It's going to be a bit arduous. And also, you saw like peer ahead and you can see that it splits off into a T junction. You might struggle, if it's spry enough, it'll evade you as it's going through the vents, unless you can do something about closing off some of the vents.
Yeah, everyone do me a favour. Just try and close the other vent doors. I'm just going to go have a bit of a... Because I don't think we're going to get UVA armor through these vents.
No, my armor's not fitting in there. Even the new shiny one.
Doc Callum, you seem to recall that the vent control is part of the computer systems. So you can start isolating down this general area and start guiding Lucian through the vents while closing off certain avenues, so it should be able to keep it fairly isolated.
Yeah, if you can lock it down so that it's like a one-way track, there's only 2 vents open. I can go to me or Z can go to the other vent, and then so we've got one person on each end, someone inside and someone managing the pathway.
Seems logical, yes. What about the children?
Why don't you take them, Doctor?
Why don't you take them?
Well, I'll be busy trying to catch this thing out of the vent, You'll be safe in the hallway by the computer.
Children, do you want to come in a vent?
No, absolutely not. I will look after the children. We are not taking them into the air vents because that is irresponsible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have this book of parenting. It says right here, don't.
Okay.
Dr. Callum, can I get a computers check?
Yes, you can. +7.
Z, what will you be doing?
I will also try to close one of the vents.
Okay. It's 23 for computers.
Yep. So you're basically you're hanging around one of the open vents, hoping that it'll get flushed out in your general direction, or are you going into the vents?
I'll wait by the vents.
Okay. And Nikon, you're waiting by the vents.
Yeah.
And Lucian, you're going into the vents.
Yeah, this better attract danger pay.
Oh, I'm sure it will. All right, make me a athletics check.
Oh, okay. Straight +0 for this. 10. Yeah.
10.
She's not limber.
She's not, and it takes a while to go through the vents, and occasionally you'll have to call out to Dr. Callum to be sort of like, oh, we need this vent opening, and yeah, you're struggling to explain as to which vent it is, and Dr. Callum says, okay, it's open, and nothing's happened.
My left or your left?
No, your left. Which way are you facing? I can't see you.
I don't know. It's all the same.
And as you're going through, sort of like trying to make sure that all the vents are covered, this creature sort of like scuttles out from the vent that is close by you and just sort of like tries to dart right across the room.
Can I grab it?
Make me a melee attack. This is going to be tricky.
Okay.
Maybe with finesse?
I'd allow it with finesse, so it would be a dex-based melee attack. So, yeah, it'd be a d20 plus dex modifier.
All right. 7.
Yeah, it basically just crawls straight through your arms, and as it all like gets to the other side of the room, it just kind of turns and looks back at you before it starts crawling off into some of the disused boxes and storage in here. Nikon?
Am I in the same room?
It's not a very large area, this, it's like two
got it.
20 by 20 rooms adjacent to each other.
So yeah, I'll maybe like Z, I'll use my fingers to show that I'm gonna go around one side of the boxes, and maybe you can go around to the other side, and then we can corner, and then I'll jump on whatever box I think it is.
It's a shell game now.
Can you both make me perception or stealth checks?
I'll do perception.
I'll do stealth. Oh, wow. 8.
9.
Wow. So yeah, as you're moving around these boxes, you believe that you see one sort of like twitch, and you think, oh, that's going to be the one. But just at that moment, Z, you take a couple of steps forward and trip over some of the debris that's lying around. And at that moment, Nikon, you just jump for this box and it crumples under your weight and goes completely flat as a pile of boxes sort of like shuffles around, and you just both turn to look and you see this creature just go through the doorway. Dr. Callum, it's charging right at you.
Yeah, he's on the comms to Z and is like, I heard a lot of noise. Have you caught? Oh god, there it is. Yeah, he's going to try and make a grab for this thing as well. What kind of roll would you like for that?
It would be a attack roll. I'll take either a strength or a dex-based attack roll. Would also like to point out that you could try just looking at this thing and figuring out what might help calm it down or encourage it not to run around so much.
I'll go for the grab first and the learning second.
Yep.
I have an entire +1 for dex. I'm going to make it work very hard for me here.
Okay, you make it work very hard for you. Go for it.
And that is 4. It's not working very hard for me. I'm like, fuck this up.
Yeah,
makes
you
it's
make a
like-
grab for it and just slide across the wall before bumping into the wall, and it's like, I didn't grab anything, and you just see it go into one of the vents.
Ah,
Imagine it's
Right.
like trying to pick up an unwilling cat. It's just like,
I was just thinking.
it's like, oh no, bollocks. Oh,
Now
in
it's
that
back
case.
in the vents. Do I see it?
Not at the moment because you're lost in the vents.
Yeah. Over the comms, you just hear, Lucien, it's back in the vents.
Any particular direction or?
Yes, it seems to have gone up.
Up.
Doc Callum, you get onto the computer system and basically start shutting off vents so that you can at least... now that you know which vent it went into, it's a lot easier to sort of like shut down the relevant vents to make sure that it is contained.
I just need to get close to it. I can do this.
Um,
Stupid thing.
Make me a athletics check, Lucien.
Okay, that's better. 19.
19. Okay, you've spent enough time in these vents to know how to get around, and you pretty much just managed to sort of like commando crawl and turn around in spot. It's quite impressive. You're
Amazing how things change after a couple of after being locked in a few vents for a little bit. Now, where is that bugger?
You would have liked to everybody else to know how impressive that was. Unfortunately, nobody else is in the vents with you, so
Nope.
only you know how impressive
Only
it was.
I know how cool I am.
But you do manage to sort of like crawl through the vents, and with the aid of Doc Callum, you manage to figure out that it's like, okay, it's going to be behind this vent entranceway, or it's going to make a run back out into the rooms.
Okay. Well, the second I see this thing and I am close enough, I am going to use the command spell. It's going nowhere this time.
Okay, what is a command spell?
The command spell, where is it? Command. You give the target one of the following command, which it obeys to the best of its ability to the earliest opportunity. And it is a DC 14 will save, I believe.
Okay.
I know, she's using Simon Says.
Right, yeah. And it fails.
There we go. Then I'm going to use the approach command, so it has to come towards me, and only me, with all of its speed.
And it ignores you because it's a language-dependent spell.
Oh, hang out loud.
Actually, on that point,
What do you-
Lucien, now that Dr. Gray's seen this thing and been walked over by this thing, he's going to do, he's going to search his memory bank, see if he recalls any creature like this before.
Yeah, maybe a life science.
Life science is plus 9. Yay, medics. 11. And that is 12 total.
It is unlike anything you've ever seen before. However, so like looking at its biological structure and the fact that it is not, assuming that this is the thing that managed to take out the power in this area, and it didn't die from that, there is a reasonably good chance that it is either resistant to or dependent on electricity.
Yeah, Callum ponders this for a minute. It's like, I've had a thought.
You could
So-
potentially set up some kind of trap using that knowledge.
That's exactly what he's thinking. So I've been thinking, this creature clearly either depends on electricity or it definitely has an affinity for it. Rather than spending the rest of our lives chasing this stupid thing around the vents, how about we get a box, a stick, a rope, and some batteries, leave them in the center of the room, and let the stupid thing get itself trapped?
Sounds great.
I've been walked
You
over by
only
exactly...
thought about this now.
Lucy comes out of the vents covered in dust.
If I get my hands on that thing,
only
I am
talked about that.
psychokinetic handing it so fast to my fist.
No, we're not going to harm it. We said for Tilden we'd let it live.
Oh, it'll survive.
I don't know if I have an extra battery. I have one in my comm unit.
Yeah.
But no.
Dr. Prey's going to take a quick look around, so like the room, because there's a lot of junk in here, isn't there?
There is some stuff lying around, yes.
Yeah, they're going to take a look for like any sort of like broke electronics, something that might have some batteries in it with enough charge to look like a meal to this thing.
Yeah, make me a engineering or a perception check.
I'll go for perception because my engineering is pants. Perception +3. +3. That is 18.
18. Yeah, you do manage to find some. It looks like it's already been gnawed on by something, but it hasn't, quite finished the job and gotten into the juicy battery compartment. But yeah, you think that you could salvage the battery out of this and use it as bait for the trap?
Nikon, Z, you've both seen the sorts that would know how to build and trap. What do you say? Do you feel like you can give me a hand, maybe luring this creature?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And yes, and when we get it trapped, loose end, do you reckon you can keep it from escaping once we've got it in a box?
Oh, it's going nowhere. Just like hair, like completely disheveled.
Well, that sounds like some semblance of a plan. So yeah, they're going to hand the battery to Nikon and Z, and so it's like in.
Yep, I will take a engineering or survival check.
I have engineering.
I have survival.
Should we do both or one?
One each, but either or.
Okay. That's a 6 on my engineering.
14.
Luckily, Nikon tried first. They set up the trap, and it promptly falls down on them. The survivalist comes in and shows them how to set a trap properly.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay.
This is
With a little more work,
sorry,
Nikon, you probably could have got it working. It's just, more of the mechanical nature, which is over-engineering it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Dr. Gray's debating having Kia and Q wait in the elevator or somewhere else the way, just in case, because they're not convinced that loose ends isn't gonna just punch this creature when she finally catches it. So.
Would like to remind you of the sort of the way the Wayfinders prefer to do things. But yes, it is duly noted. You send the kids off to wait in the elevator or by the elevator. And yeah, it takes a while. You're basically all just sort of trying to remain as motionless as possible. As not to spook this thing as it sort of eventually comes out of the pile of boxes that it was now hiding under and approaches this trap, and it triggers, and the creature is now contained.
Finally.
That's much better.
But now what do we do now that it's in the box? The second we open the lid, it's just gonna. I mean, unless you open it very. I mean, it's sort of. This floor is dirty, isn't it?
Looks to be, yes.
Oh, I suppose in for a penny. And then Lucia just sort of gets flat on the ground, head on the floor. So she's the same. Just lift it up just a little bit. I just need to see the thing. If you'd be so kind.
Yeah, Dr. Gray is not going to stop her.
The second she gets a view, she's going to try using Daze.
Okay.
And it can't run away. which is a DC 13 will save.
All right. Your spell has gone off.
It says it short circuits surrounding human to CR3 of lower. It takes the dazed condition, which I assume means that it's not going to be able to skitter away anywhere.
Just for one round.
It's like,
1 round.
I'm not gonna hurt it. I'm not gonna hurt it. Lift
No, I'm
up,
trying.
Sound of animal getting tasered.
I'm not trying.
Dazed, yes,
hard.
you can take no actions.
Right.
So if
Now
it
it
is
is
dazed, then it will not be able to do anything. What would you like to do?
Let's shut the box and get rid of it as quickly as possible.
Well, I mean, we did tell the children that we'd at least make a case to pitch for them to keep it. So if we could find some kind of cage to put it in, that'd be ideal.
You don't find any kind of more sturdy containment than the box you have managed to get it into.
The box will
I
do.
think.
Poke a
but-
hole in it for breathing, and keep a. I can hold it if you want me to keep my heavy arm on top of the lid.
I think Lucian's gonna put her hand under the box inside just to see if the creature's actually moving, see if the daze worked. Because she's like, I actually can't confirm whether the daze worked or not.
Can't we just grab the box and shut it?
It's upside down.
Yeah. So
So
now it's dazed. Can we just
slide some-
quickly shut it inside the box?
Yes, you can definitely try.
Okay, I'm gonna do that while it's dazed.
Yep. And it is.
Probably dazed.
Probably,
and it
yeah,
is dazed, and
Yeah.
you manage to sort of like flip over the box and sort of like cram it in there and seal it back up just as it starts to just start running laps around this box.
Okay, elevators, come on.
See, if that hadn't have worked, I would have resorted to the pistol.
Doesn't very kind of wants to get a sample from this creature as well. It intrigues them. But
One last stretch,
One
everyone.
last.
okay,
Yeah.
there's an entire stretch.
I think Lucian probably needs that stretch more than I do right now. He's stuck in
Lucian's
crap.
been fine. They've been doing all kinds of contortionism
Yeah.
through the vents.
Mm,
Yeah.
I imagine they're probably very dusty by now.
Very dusty, very grimy. It's like this girl has never been this dirty in her life, and is not particularly best pleased.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's get in that rickety old elevator and go talk to Fitch. Maybe these kids can keep their pet.
So yeah, now that you've restored some power to this floor, the elevator isn't quite as rickety. The doors open slightly smoother, and it no longer stutters on this floor. And you take the elevator all the way back up to the main deck. Are you alerting Fitch of anything on your way up, or are you just going to be so like get there and then find Fitch and be so like, hey, we did the thing?
I suppose forewarned is forearmed. We are trying to persuade this guy to let these kids keep their pets. So he'll probably radio ahead while they're in the elevator. Just like, Fitch, I'm pleased to announce that these two children are with us, and we'll be bringing them up shortly. They did have a pet with them. I was wondering if I could have a quick discussion with you about that.
Which children are they? None of mine, I hope.
Kia Lang and Kia C, I believe their names are.
Oh. They'll be Kia Kine's kids.
Oh, is she, they, him on the ship, or?
Yeah, he's one of my mechanics. I'll get him to meet you at the elevator. But yeah, come see me with their pet.
Hydrate.
There shouldn't be any pets aboard.
Yes, I understand that. I was hoping that we could potentially.
Will you
Make
put
an
that
exception.
down?
He's got his comm unit. He's just like. Ugh.
I don't know if they need more rambunctious little things running around the street, this ship.
You can get a leash for it and a litter tray. I'm sure it'll be all right.
Yeah, and then it'll eat, a couple holes in the wall while it's at it.
Well, I'm
If they could
Marshall,
find a way to contain it, then this could be a suitable distraction for the children to stop them from causing so much trouble. If they have something to look after.
And beyond that, it is quite an interesting creature. I'd like to know more about it, and I really would like to collect some samples from it as well, to add to my DNA collection.
I just want it gone.
I mean,
kind
we
of,
don't have to stay on the ship, so we're more leaving rather than it is leaving. So you won't have to see it again, is what I'm saying. And you hopefully won't have to crawl through any more vents either.
Yeah, so this goes beyond none of you. That no one has to know that I did that.
We'll make an adventure out
It's
of you
just
yet.
Just between you, me, the children, the CCTV system, and the creature. No one else needs to know.
No.
You've crawled through some vents. You've gotten the sideways pistol shot down. Yeah, you're halfway there.
Okay.
And with that, the doors of the elevator open, and this human, clearly dressed as a mechanic, you assume this is Kyukine. So, like, grabs the children, hugs them close, and it's like, where have you been and what have you been doing? And
Remember, kids, blame someone else.
Just makes another filthy look at Lucien.
And it's like, thank you. I don't know what I would have done if I'd have, if anything had happened to them. I'm sorry that they've caused you such trouble. And they pass over to.
It's like, it's no trouble. I mean, it's not like I had to call to an air vent to get them or anything, so it's fine.
No, it's been trouble, and I want compensation due course.
Doc Prey, they shake your hand and thank you for the assistance and give you an item.
Oh, thank you.
It is a Mark 1 Ring of Resistance.
Whoa!
Oh, thank you very much.
I forgot to write this one
Quickly
up.
looking at what that is.
But a Mark 1
Some
ring
kind of ring.
of Resistance is it gives you a +1 bonus to your lowest saving throw.
Nikon's
And
just...
who,
Nikon...
I was gonna say, they're giving it to to Prey specifically, or just to the group?
He's giving it to the group, but he passed it to you specifically just because, it's all like, it's one thing. He can't give one thing to all. It's like, here you go, and everybody hold on to it a little bit of the ring.
Nikon's holding onto the box that's still shaking, and he's like, so, what should I do with this?
You probably want to take that over to Fitch. She should be... Her office is over there. Just follow the yelling.
Okay. And he starts walking.
Dr. Prey's going with the Nikon because they're still intrigued by this creature.
Yep, and you go into Fitch's office, and you can see Juvenile Yosoki just absolutely tearing the place up. But you catch Fitch's eye, and they come over to you, and it's like, okay, I've arranged for that if you could take it down the corridor over to the left, and there's a team in there that will be able to take that off your hands.
We did intubate to the children that the creature wouldn't be harmed, and that there was the potential they'd be able to keep it.
I mean, from what you've told me, we don't actually know what it is. It could be dangerous. It could be sentient. It could be a lot of things.
I mean, I can tell you for free that it definitely doesn't talk because it didn't listen to my commands. And on top of that, I mean,
How do we know that it's not just juvenile?
My magic would have worked. I'm confident of that. And on top of that, it doesn't eat children, so it can't be that evil, can it?
I didn't say that it was evil.
And besides, maybe you have a use for it. If it likes electricity, maybe you could, I don't know, let it loose in the power conduits, and wherever it goes, there's a power leak. If it finds the nearest source of electricity, maybe some use like that.
We've already got electrovores for that. But anyway, yeah, this will all be taken into consideration. We are not likely to dispose or destroy this creature. That's not the way of the Wayfinders. But it does warrant further study and examination to establish what it is, where it came from, and what we can do to help it.
If it can't stay on the ship, then at least it can go back to where it belongs.
Yeah, or we find somewhere for it to belong. I mean, if it's going to get at the power cores, it really shouldn't stay on the ship. If it eats through the wrong thing at the wrong time, it's catastrophe for the ship. But there's settlements. Epsilon Station has all the power that it needs. So
I mean, this isn't a whole. We're sending it to a farm up system, are we?
Yeah, I was gonna say Dr. Prey probably wants to roll a sense motive on the whole. Like, we're just gonna look at it and look after it, and then.
Make me a sense motive.
+5 to that as well. So.
Yeah, if the doctor fails, then the shit will give it a go.
I mean, you can give it a go anyway.
Oh, 19 total.
I mean, I'll give it a quick go. So those glasses, she wasn't lying about the glasses. The glasses are what are they called? Spectacles of the unseen. So she gets a +2 to sense motive if she's using them to what do we call it? Use it to detect sense motive. But if she fails, it's bad. So that gives me +11 for 13. I rolled a nat 1. Yeah, so if you fail wearing the glasses, what is it? It is quite comical. When you fail any sense motive check using the glasses, you automatically misinterpret the event, typically sensing sinister or conspiratorial intent. As if you failed the check as a -5.
Well, the good news is you didn't fail the check for deception because there was no deception going. The Wayfinders are, they're explorers. They want to find new life out there, and in some cases, like they said, in some cases it's sentient. This could be a juvenile that doesn't know any languages because it's not been taught any languages. They're going to have to examine it. They're not in the habit of examination through termination and then.
So no space Illuminati. No.
No.
So I can put this thing down
the corridor to the left.
Okay.
Not in here. Don't get out.
She starts walking that way.
Yeah, Dr. Grey heads off with Nikon as well because they're still curious about the animal.
Yeah, well, while they're doing that, I think Lucian's gonna look at the ship and look at these little ones running around with tools and sort of be like, I know you said that creature's done damage, but do you think maybe you're younger doing more damage to the ship?
At least they're contained in this one room, and if they ate through the electrical cables, then they'd be in for the shock of their lives.
I suppose.
Have you considered getting them a more harmless pet to keep them occupied?
I've tried everything.
Oh, very sorry.
Have you tried Star Charts? They work really well. basically you put a chart on the wall, and anytime they don't do something terrible, you give them a star. And then at the end, the one with the most number of stars wins, and they get a little something. They become very competitive, and after a while, it works wonders.
I will put that suggestion forward to the creche that looks after all the children here aboard the Master of Stars. In the meantime, these are my children and my responsibility, I suppose. Anyway, thank you for your assistance. I will arrange for a shuttle to get you back to Absalon Station. In the meantime, here is your payment, and they hand you a cred stick with 400 credits total, so another 100 apiece. Nikon and Dr. Prey, you go where Fitch sends you off to, and you're led into a room where they've got a bit of a containment facility. It is all harmless. It's just, now that they know that this thing can chew through electrical wires and cripple the ship, they'd rather keep it somewhere contained rather than disused hallways. And with that, you aboard the shuttle and head back to Absalon Station. Oh,
yeah, I was gonna say quickly, just when it's in the containment, Dr. Gray is gonna get out his little lab again. He's gonna just take like a pair of tweezers and pull just a little bit of a scale off this creature and put it into another little glass vial and put that one with the quill from the other creature in the little compartment. And it's like, well, I'm much happier now.
The staff in there have no complaints about you doing that. And they're curious if you do find anything out about that scale of particular note. Your shuttle is arranged back to Absalon Station. It picks you up and drops you off, ready for your next assignment, which we shall come to next week.
Woo! We've already made 200 credits each today. That's pretty good.
And then immediately spent 50 on them an album.
Some of us did that.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Gray's quite enjoying his copy of Star Sugar he loved. Like he wasn't sure about it at first, but he's had his AirPods in. He's been like bopping along to it on the shuttle ride.
Good music.
It's a choice of music.
Yeah.
It's a perfectly legitimate genre that one can listen to.
Yeah.
Sugar pop.
Before this, like the closest approximation to music he's been listening to is like the dial-up noise of a 56k modem just on repeat. And he's like, yes, this actually has a tune.
But yes, just need to now do the missions for the data files and the acquisitives.
Nice.
There we go.
Teamwork.
Yay!
It is definitely nice to play someone who's a little bit more chaotic and a lot more random.
I'm having fun playing someone that's ordered for once, because my normal roster of characters are all just like absolute chaos gremlins. And this time I get to play like the responsible doctor who actually cares about not killing everything and set a place on fire for no reason.
Yeah, 6 sessions of playing kind of traumatized level headed Alistair. It's nice to play someone who's completely random and half batshit.
Well, I do hope everybody has enjoyed this. Like I say, we will be back next week. I have been and will continue to be Kyron Russmore. You'll be able to catch me here next week and hopefully occasionally doing other GMing here on Manapot Studios. In the meantime, you can actually find me over on my own channel, twitch.tv/Kyron Russmore, where I play a variety of computer games on occasion. You'll want to go follow and get notifications because my schedule is a bit chaotic at the moment. So there we go. And Krifu?
Hi, I am Krifu. You can find me online on the socials at Krifu Bernal. I've got two more streams this week on Manapot. 2 EU happy hour streams back to back. Actually, this Friday, I'll be streaming with the boys of the podcast Cut from the Chronicles, in which we'll be playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition. That'll be very rowdy and raucous. If I could, I'd put like a 21 plus age limit on that stream. And then Saturday, I'll be back here with Hedgehog, as we'll be both playing in a Changeling the Dreaming EU happy hour flight.
Yes.
So that's going to be pretty sweet.
And Vinny?
Hi everyone, I'm Vinny. You can find me on Mastodon at GMHex at dice.camp, and I'm also gradually moving back to Tumblr, so I'm GMHex there as well. I don't think I have anything else coming up, but I would love to be on something. So, probably as soon as work calms down a little bit. But yeah, I'll definitely find more things to participate in.
Nice. And RJ?
Yeah, I've been RJ. You can normally find me over on Cosmopunk podcast. It's Cosmopunk Pod on Twitter or on Podbean, iTunes, stuff like that. We have a 2 weekly podcast. That's another Starfinder one with me playing the exact opposite character of this one. So yeah, and that's about it for me in terms of socials. Thanks very much for GMing.
No worries. And Hedgehog?
Yeah, I've been Hedgehog. You can find my personal Twitter now at Hedgehog UK. This is the end of the year, so the only thing I've got down on the calendar is Manapod stuff. The EU Happy Hour flights this Saturday, next Saturday, and then the final one of this next Monday, and then the Fireside Chat the Monday after. Moving forward, the big announcement in my life this week has been that I have now moved. I've decoupled my name from my own brand because I've been doing this for a year now, and using Hedgehog as a channel name has been a bit of a pain because that's what everyone calls you as well, and it's a bit egotistical to call yourself the Hedgehog channel when you're basically naming it after yourself. So I've started a brand new channel called the Misadventurers League, which is going to kick up in January. It's on Twitter at the moment as Misadventurers L, because apparently Misadventurers League is far too long and you can't have that as a username. How dare you? So if you want to have a follow on there, we have a game starting in January, bit more follow on that, and there will be casting calls for other games, specifically for, well, priority for UK/EU players, because we need more games like that in the sphere. So keep an eye out for that. But that's me.
All right, and thank you again for joining us this evening. We will be back with the conclusion of this, which is the Starfinder Society scenario, the Commencement. And until then, taddy bye.
Bye. See you next week.
Bye.